a little frozen. Holy buckets. All right. So intro to parallel lines. Remember we've talked about lines before. What I want you to be able to do is recognize planes and transversals, identify angle pairs formed by a transversal, and recognize parallel lines. So a plane is a surface. All right. We've talked about planes before. It's two dimensions. Think of a piece of paper as a plane. Okay. If you go to the next slide, hopefully, holy buckets, I'm going to freak out. There we are. Okay, we've talked about this as well. Coplanar points, lines, and so forth lie on the same plane. Non-coplanar when things don't lie on the same plane. Transversals. So if we have two lines like this, if I have two lines, alert. This is so off, it's going to make me so mad. Oh my goodness. Alright, so if I have two lines just like this, the transversal will be the line that cuts through both of them. Alright, it cuts through the two of them. Okay, that's what would be the transversal line. Okay, these do not have to be parallel. All it says that these two lines are coplanar. Okay, so you can imagine as this being a plane. Right. As much as I can. Right there. Okay. Why? That's not a plane. That's not what I was looking for. There we go. That's about the best as it's going to get. Alright. So, let's talk about angle pairs. Okay, parallel lines, two coplanar lines that do not intersect. Remember, you've talked about parallel lines in your previous classes. If I have two lines that are parallel, they're never going to intersect. Okay, they'll never intersect. Alright, now we're talking about angle pairs. Okay, this is what our lesson today is all about, angle pairs. So we want to identify the following angles. Okay, first we want to talk about our interior angles. Interior angles are the angles that are in between our two lines. So A and B are my line. C would be considered our transversal. Okay, so my interior angles would be angle 1, angle 2, angle 5, and angle 8. Those are the angles that lie in between the two lines that are cut by our transversal. Conversely, our exterior angles would be, holy cow. You ever seen a grown man cry? Well, you're about to. Angle 4, angle 3, that's a 3. This is supposed to be a 7. 7, and angle 8. Okay, that's a 3. Can you tell? Alright, so alternate interior. Okay, alternate interior are the ones that jump over across the transversal. Okay, so they're interior angles, so if 1 is the first angle, then its pair, if I jumped across the transversal, would be angle 6. To be an alternate interior, you cannot be adjacent, meaning I cannot be right next to. Although 1 and 2 do jump over our transversal, they're adjacent angles, so that doesn't count. So my next pair would be 2 and angle 5. Remember, this is a little and symbol, not a plus. This is an and symbol here. Alright. Consecutive interior angles are angles. They're also called, you'll also see the term same side interior angles. They're angles on the same side of the transversal. Again, not adjacent to each other. So angles 1 and angle 5, or angles 2 and 6. Okay. Alternate exterior. Alright, so if I start with one of my exterior angles, I start with angle 4. Again, I'm going to jump across the transversal, number 1. Number 2, I can't have an adjacent angle, so it can't be 3. So as I jump across, I end at 8. Alright, so then my other pair would be, hopefully you got it by now, 3, and angle 7. Okay, corresponding is a little bit different. All right, corresponding angles are the angles that lie in the same position. All right, so what that means is if I have, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it was 5, I would make sure you draw this separate diagram. 7, 8. So here are my angle pairs, right? If I just redrew this diagram, all right. Well, angles in the same position, well, an angle in the same position as angle 4 would be angle 5. Angle in the same position as angle 3 would be angle 6. And hopefully you guys got the other two. Go ahead and write those down while I try to figure out this. Holy buckets. Seriously. Tears. Serious tears. All right. 1 and 7. I mean, I just can't. I can't. This computer is way too old. You're just going to have to listen to what I have to say here. Angle 1 and 7, and then 2 and 8 as well. 2 and 8. I'm not going to be able to write that down, apparently. That's too much to ask. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. So, identify a special angle pair name for the angles in the figure. All right. So, I'm going to give you the two pairs of angles, then I want to talk about, okay, what is the angle pair name? All right. Or what are they called? So, if I look at angles 2 and 6. So, 2 and 6, the first thing I should recognize is that they're on the inside. All right. So, our interior angles, we have two options. You have alternate interior or consecutive / same side interior angles. Well, these do not jump across the transversal, therefore they have to be consecutive. And I'm going to type it out now. Consecutive interior angles. Okay. 4 and 5. Here's 4. Here's 5. Well, they're not both on the interior or both on the exterior. In fact, one's an exterior angle, one's an interior angle. All right, which tells me, well, if this lies in the upper left-hand position and this lies in the upper left-hand position, they have to be corresponding angles. Name all interior angles. All right, well, I'm just going to use the numbers. I can't use the symbols while I'm typing. But you should definitely add the symbols in. Okay. Identify the pair of angles. So here's 4 and 8. Well, they're both exterior, and they're not on the same side. So they have to be alternate exterior angles. Okay, last one. 2 and 5, or second to last. 2 and 5 are on the inside. They're interior angles, number 1, and they're jumping across the transversal, so they're alternate interior angles. All right, so alternate interior, and then their exterior ones are 4, 3, 7, 8. Okay, I want you guys to try the next slide on your own. All right, and then you're gonna. So I want you to pause the video here. Okay, once you pause it, try the next slide, identify the angle pairs, and then you're gonna check your work in a minute. All right, here we go. So for 1 and 4, 1 and 4, 1 and 4. Actually, we didn't talk about this pair, but we've talked about this pair a lot, especially in the last unit. They are vertical angles. Two and 10, all right? 2 and 10, 2 and 10 are in the same position, therefore they have to be corresponding angles. 4 and 9 are interior, and I'm jumping across the transversal, so they're alternate interior angles. 3 and 6 are exterior, and they're not on the same side, so they're alternate exterior angles. 14 and 10, same position, corresponding, and 7 and 13, same side of the transversal, so same side interior. More identifying angle pairs, all right, more identifying